This is kind of a kickoff to that event, having these programs. The last program just before lunch was on doing your family genealogy and that kind of thing, which is very important to local history. Parker's program today is on preserving, taking care of, and maintaining gravestones. Parker is amazing. I can't find another word other than, well, I probably could find a lot of words for Parker, but Parker is a junior at North Rose Wolcott High School. And in the last year and a half, he has restored a cemetery in Butler, the Hibbard Cemetery. He got in there and pulled out all the Rosa rugosa and some of the poison ivy and restored the stones, did all kinds of work. He also has tackled York Settlement Cemetery in fixing the stone of Darius Howard and his wife Susan. Darius was a Revolutionary War soldier who came to the area. He is busy in the Huron Evergreen Cemetery. He's got more gopher holes over there than I know if the gophers know what to figure out, because he is restoring many of the stones in the Huron Evergreen Cemetery, getting them clean, putting them back together, giving them new foundations. Parker is truly a treasure to this area. And it's not only Butler and Rose, where you've done work, and Huron, but he's reached out. Where did you travel down to Pennsylvania a month ago or so? West Virginia, to work on some cemeteries down there. He's also working on cemeteries in Marion and Palmyra and elsewhere in the county. So how he finds time to do all this and be a junior, ask his mother. His parents, Melanie and Phil, are sitting right down here along with his brother Tyler. He couldn't do all this without their help, and he knows that. So very supportive family for a very worthwhile preservation effort. So without further ado, I turn this over to Parker to give you the full story about Gone Graving. Parker?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. I am Gone Graving. So you might ask, who is me? Who's Gone Graving? Well, I am a junior at the North Rose Wolcott High School down the road, and a Boy Scout from Troop 115 out of Wolcott, New York, and I live in Rose. So you might ask, how do I get involved with this? Well, back in 2018, my mom right here, the old town of Rose historian, organized a Boy Scout, Boy Scout cleanup for the Ellenwood Cemetery over on Wolcott Road. So when I was over there cleaning, that's me in the back in the black coat. That stone right there was one of the ones that we found covered in grass and other things. And, well, me and a couple other guys with shovels, water bottles, everything we could find. We're digging up that stone to try to reveal the guy's name. And, well, we have it at this right here. This the last photo of the stone that we have. And it's James Campbell and his wife, who originally is supposed to be on the other end of the cemetery. It's on a slope, so it slid all the way downhill. And that was the find that sparked the fire inside of me to do this. Why do I do what I do? Well, that's a pretty simple question. Well, because we need to preserve local history and remember it for future generations, because I believe that a soul is not dead until it is forgotten. So, what I do. My current project is the Hubbard Cemetery in Butler. That was my main cemetery for the past year and a half. We cleaned up poison ivy, unearthed fallen stones, and straightened and cleaned a bunch of stones that were sitting there. I go around New York State with permission from local entities and cemeteries to get permission to repair and clean all the stones. I also research everyone I clean if I can find anything. A lot of the instances with Huron is I can't find a single thing. And it's happened to me more than once. Well, here is the before of the Hubbard Cemetery. As you can see, way overgrown. That stuff was taller than Mom. And this is what it looked like last August. It's looked a lot better. I've got a couple stones standing back from that photograph there. And as you can see, hard day of work. We got that speaker and some rakes there. And here is another picture after one summer. We mowed that whole thing. It just, yeah. Here is some of my work. So I'm going to show you a couple videos of me cleaning. And I tried putting some videos of repairing in here, but it was too big and it was going to crash the system. So yeah, enjoy. This is Eve Viola Tucker. She was born on July 3rd, 1778 in Saratoga Springs, New York. Her father was Stephen Vila and her mother was Sarah Tull. She married Benjamin Tucker on February 10, 1802 in Waterford, New York. They had 8 children together. During their life, Benjamin, who is Eve's husband, was a doctor, and back in those days, doctors did bloodletting. Anyway, Eve died on February 22, 1834 in Butler, New York at the age of 55. They are both buried in the Hubbard Cemetery in Butler, New York. If you enjoy watching this content, make sure to like and follow for more. That's cleaned up a lot more since then. Here is another video. This one is at the York Settlement Cemetery. This is Henry Case. He was born in May of 1775 in New Jersey. Researching his parents was a dead end. He married Sarah around 1806 and had 3 children with her. He might be a War 1812 veteran because they found a payroll abstract for New York State listing Henry Case, serving on September 10, 1814, in a company led by Captain Chas Rood, but there is no good identifying information to even know if that's the right Henry Case. He lived in Huron from the 1840 census until his passing on June 10, 1853, at the age of 78. Alright, here is, should I skip this one, Mom, or? I've been showing a lot of videos. Here's my second great-grandparents. This is the headstone of my second great-grandparents. William Homer Mabie, later known as Homer, was born on February 2nd, 1890 in Vernon, New York. He was the only child of William Stephen Mabie and Eva Irene Silman. By age 10, he was living on Main Street in Wolcott, New York with his parents. In 1910, Homer's father passed away, so at just 20, he had to become the man of the house. A month later, he became one of the first in Wolcott to own a Indian motorcycle. It was more than a ride, it was a statement of modern independence. Not far away, Jessie Mae Kitchen was growing up in Sodus, born August 26, 1891. She was the third of 5 children in a lively, hard-working home. As the eldest daughter, Jessie helped raise her siblings, but she also had a gift. She was an opera singer, forming throughout Huron well into her later years. On December 28, 1913, Jessie and Homer married in Huron, beginning a lifelong partnership. Just a year later, Jessie survived a serious bout of typhoid fever. That same year, they welcomed their first child, Velma Irene. In 1920, the family lived in Syracuse, where Homer worked as a machinist. Jessie's younger brother lived with them. They later returned to Huron and in 1925 welcomed their son, William George Mabie, who is my great-grandfather. By 1930, Homer had become a farmer. The family lived on Eastport Bay Road in a home they owned, complete with a radio, one of the prized possessions of the time. Jessie raised the children and continued singing locally. In 1942, Homer registered for the World War II draft, listing Jessie as his next of kin. Jesse passed away on October 18th, 1958 at their home with 38 years. Homer died 3 years later on September 14th, 1961. So yes, that was the headstone of my second great-grandparents. And how do I go about cleaning? Well, first I determine what type of stone the grave marker is. The stone can be sandstone, limestone, slate, marble, granite, concrete, which was during the Great Depression when families didn't have enough money to actually buy headstones. And fieldstones, which is one of the oldest types of stones that you can find out here. And, well, to clean or not to clean. Here is the types of stones you're okay to clean. Everything I listed in the first slide. Pretty simple. And other things to not, let's see. The type of stones I do not clean in the conditions. So any stone that is sugaring, powdering, flaking, or delaminating, that's very bad for a stone, and it will erode if you scrub it. And any stone that is unstable, pretty well said, so it doesn't fall on you. Or any stone that is starting to fall apart, sort of like the top is.
Could you read those? I can't see the little small print there.
So, on the right side, not left side, what's okay to clean is sandstone, limestone, slate, marble, granite, concrete, and fieldstone. And then on the right side, any stone that appears to be sugaring, powdering, flaking, or delaminating, any stone that is unstable, and any stone that is starting to fall apart. So, before cleaning, you must get permission from the cemetery, town, or descendants, and determine what the weather is going to be. Cleaning should be done in less than 45-degree temperature, or it will crack the stone. And cleaning should also not be done on hot days in direct sunlight. One thing I would like to add to this is not to clean during any tornadoes or repair. It's happened to me 2 times. One in Butler and one in Huron. But, it's fine.
Mom's the rescue.
Yep. Dad actually showed up for the first one. Both of them.
Parker,
Yes.
could you either move to the other side? Because when you move, yes, would that be better? But when you move over, you see what happens.
Yes. All right.
Oh, now you're not near the microphone, you can't do that, can you? Poor guy.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Go back.
I'll go back one. What did I forget? Oh,
Not to clean left.
yes, what not to clean with. At household cleaners, anything with bleach, trisodium phosphate, vinegar, Dawn dish soap, pressure washing, metal scrapers and wire brushes, baking soda, low pressure sandblasting, power brushing or grinding, and anything acidic. Those are the things not to clean with because, of course, they'll damage a headstone and make it unreadable and lots of other things. Tools needed for cleaning. If you've seen my table, you've also seen the stuff I clean with. I use a soft bristle brush, wood scrapers, plastic scrapers, silicone scrapers, towels or rags, or in my case, if it's cold out, like sweatshirt weather, use a sweatshirt. 1 or 2 gallon water sprayer for clean water only. You don't want to use like Roundup in it before and then like forget to clean it out and spray that on the stone. And quart-sized spray bottles, and of course, you'll want water. Approved cleaners. Clean water and soft bristle brushes. D2 biological solution, that's what I use. You can get it at gravestonecleaner.com. Orvis paste, which you can get at Tractor Supply. Prosco Revive, and who I forget. What is D2 biological solution? This product is very well known and is the first choice for cleaning. It's tested, approved, preferred, and used by the National Cemeteries Administration and the National Park Service, and also the VA. It works great for mold, mildew, lichen, moss, ivy, elderly, and a lot of other things. The pH is of 9, 7 is neutral. The higher number you go, the less acidic it is. Well, how do you use D2 biological solution? Well, use it at full strength. If you dilute it, it will make it work less effective. It can be applied and left on the stone, spray, then hit the road. And apply with a spray bottle or garden sprayer, your choice. Will continue to work weeks and months later. Best results happen after 2 to 3 weeks or longer. Depends on how your weather is and other things. Here are some stones I cleaned with D2. It's sort of hard to see it in here, but the top ones are in rows, and the bottom one is one I repaired and cleaned, and that one's in Butler. Repairing headstones. Materials I use historic pointing mortar, and I'll get into how I use these in a couple of slides. Or next slide. Heritage injection grout, IG10. Lithomex, monument setting compound, clamps, and wooden braces. My repair process. So this is a guy that was on the ground at the Hubbard Cemetery, Butler. So what we did first was re-level the base, get it all cleaned out with a wire brush and the first 2 inches of the bottom of the stone. We mixed up some of that historic pointing mortar. We put it in the base, set that in there, and then we mixed up some IG10 injection grout, and we put that on the stone after we cleaned the 2 mating surfaces with a wire brush. Clamped it, still clamped because I keep forgetting to infill it with the Lithomex, but you'll see in a couple more slides some stones that I have infilled with Lithomex. Here's one. Here's one that is in the York Settlement Cemetery. Darius Howard, who was a Revolutionary War veteran, Rosa was talking about. Here's Daniel Lamb and his wife Prudence, who is buried in the Huron Evergreen Cemetery.
So what did you do? How did you do that?
So what I did, me and Steph took the bottom piece out, straightened it, and we clamped the top piece and the bottom piece together with the IG10 injection grout. And then I got around last week and infilled it with a Lithomex. Don't fall. This one of my favorite stones I've done. Me and a group of my friends who are the same age as me. We got the bottom piece out. It took us like 2 hours to do that because it was just me and 3 teenagers. We got my huge tripod out, lifted the top up, cleaned the 2 mating surfaces with a wire brush, mixed up some of that historic pointing mortar, and got it in the base, set it on there. Then we took a pointer and go between the stone and the base and just pretty it up. Here is another one at the Huron Evergreen Cemetery I did. This is a child. His stone on the left was almost forgotten, getting ran over by lawnmowers. I got him up and infilled, which I got to spray with D2 because I haven't been over on that side of the cemetery in a little bit. But here is one of my absolute favorite repairs I've done. This is Alfred Kessler, who died from disease during the Civil War. His top piece looks like it was originally repaired, but then the repair failed. So I got it up there with lithium injection grout. I had it clamped for half the year, then got around to infilling it. And now you can't even tell it was broken anymore. So deciphering headstones. Here are the common mistakes I've seen when people are photographing headstones. They either use shaving cream, which will burn the stone and erode it. They will use flour, which feeds the bacteria on the stone and will also erode it faster. Chalk, that will get inside the pores of the stone and make it crack, or in some instances explode. Rubbings of any kind, if done repeatedly, that would get the description very faded and then sometimes not even there anymore. So here are some things, a smart way to read a headstone without, some of these you don't even have to touch it. Tin foil, you take tin foil, put it up on the stone, then you take a light paintbrush and just go over it, and then take the tin foil off, and you can sometimes read the inscription. You take, and then another one is a mirror. With a mirror, you can direct the sunlight onto the stone. You gotta play around with the mirror, but you'll eventually read it. But the easiest way is a bright flashlight. This is my favorite way to read a headstone. You take a flashlight and you just go around it trying to read the inscription. And that will bring out the shadows and other things, and it's really good. And then taking a photo and adjusting the brightness. Trust me, I'm 16 and I still haven't figured out how to do this. But if you're computer worthy, you can probably do that. But yeah. Research. Something I spend a lot of time doing. Here is, I'm just gonna skip this video. What I use to research. Here are the websites I use. We got Ancestry.com, my favorite. Fold3, my second favorite, because that has the military records. And I found a bunch of things through that I wouldn't have found using newspapers or anything else, but newspapers will also find a lot of interesting things since they documented what everyone did at every single second. Like, John fell down the stairs. Okay, well, hopefully John's okay. We got Full in History, which is newspapers. GenWeb, which is something that the historians put together, and a lot of the times they haven't been updated since 2013. But we got owl.org, also newspapers. And Find a Grave, I'm on that every single hour of my life. That is an amazing website if you're trying to find relatives or stones, or in my case, stones I want to repair. Because it gives you what the visual, so you can visualize how you're going to repair it and how you're going to do it. So the next one is New York Historic Newspapers, which is, most of these are newspapers. So goals. My goals is to preserve local history, so the folks that came before us are remembered, and to get way more young people involved in this, because history classes, trust me, are boring. But if you're out here preserving it and learning it by your own ways, it is fun. I've got 6 of my friends into this, and they're like, texting me up every time, hit me up every time you're going out to the cemetery to do something. I'm like, okay, bet. So, yeah, here's a picture of me and my brother at a Patriot Burials Marker ceremony at the Hubbard Cemetery. And then we have my friend Christian spraying down a headstone. The D2, and then to the right, me and Jonas, next to a stone that we just cleaned, his first clean.
Was that the one you guys did in the tornado?
No, the one that we did in the tornado was over in Huron. We were standing up a child's stone that was on the ground. I have some video footage I want to put in here next time we do one, but. And I think, questions? Anyone got questions? Yes?
Couple of things. One thing I didn't understand where you purchased the D2.
So I get it at gravestonecleaner.com, and that you can use discount code ROOTS10 to get 10% off, and that will drop down the price like $5, but it's pretty expensive. So.
And do you have cemetery organizations, associations support you financially to purchase so much was expensive on the list of purchases?
So it depends on the cemetery. Sometimes I gotta purchase it, sometimes the cemetery will purchase it, and sometimes the towns will purchase it. All depends on their budget.
Well, in the case of some cemeteries, the town is responsible for the maintenance of them, so
Yep.
it's under them to have to purchase it.
Yeah, sometimes the towns, in New York State, towns are supposed to mow their cemeteries at least 3 times a year. Some don't even mow it at all. And I saw a question in the back, yes.
What is the Grave Geeks organization that you're a
Oh,
part
I
of?
forgot to mention them. I got to name drop them. So the Grave Geeks is a nonprofit organization full of like-minded people like me and her in the back. And we go around, and sometimes we try to do it at least twice a year. We meet up at a cemetery, and we restore it. Sometimes we don't have the materials to do every single stone, but we'll do a lot of the stones there. I should add in this slide about Grave Geeks, but I'm telling you now. You can visit us at gravegeeks.org. If you wish to donate, you can donate through that too. And let's see. So yeah, what?
You can donate to Grave Geeks.
Yep, you can. I just said that you can donate through gravegeeks.org. You can donate to me or a specific member you want. And
Find a grave.
yes.
Should you be taking all the information on Find a Grave website as truth, or should you back that up and just do your own research and go from there?
It's always good to do your own research, because in some instances, let's say this guy was he was killed at the Battle of Gettysburg, and he has documents saying that he's buried back at home, but there's a stone at Arlington. You've got to use sort of common sense to figure out, oh, well, why would there be a stone at Arlington if he was buried at home? There would have nothing to mark there. So that's why you do your own research, because sometimes, and a lot of the times, historians or just regular people get it wrong. So it's always best to do your own.
You want to talk a little bit about how you record your research and some of the things you're doing, like York Settlement?
Yes, so sometimes, not sometimes, but when I do research, I document it in Google Docs, and I use all those websites from the past couple slides, Ancestry and other things. I put it down in Google Docs and have it sort of in a story formation. So the older stuff is like their beginning of their life, sort of like after they were born. And the latest at the end. So for York Settlement, I've done this in a couple months because of all the gravestone stuff, but I've been doing a whole cemetery listing, researching everyone believed to be buried there and is buried there, and getting them all documented, working with community members and families that have families in there. And yeah, I've been giving it to I've done, almost researched everyone buried in Butler, but I haven't done, I think, one cemetery yet, because that one's huge. But yeah, I turned it into the Wayne County historian and the town historian, so they have it in their database. And so, let's say your family, you search up their name in the the Geneva or whatever they have it in, or they send an email to the county historian. And they're like, oh yeah, it's research right here. Here's the stuff. So it makes it easier on the researcher, the family genealogist, or whoever's trying to figure that out.
Hardware. Didn't somebody get you started on this?
Yes, so Dave Blue taught me how to repair in the, let's see if I can find the slide.
Dave, raise your hand so everybody can, he's in the teacher's in the room.
So he helped me repair this stone right here, and it was originally leaning on a tree broken into 2 pieces and out of its base. So yeah, we got that dug up. He taught me how to clean the inside and bottom out with a wire brush, and taught me the right mixture for the stuff, and he's been a really big help with teaching me how to do this, and I really appreciate it. And I took all that stuff he taught me, and I've been teaching other people how to do it too. And then sending them to Dave if they'd like to help more, because, you know, I'm in school, so sorry, I'm in English, I can't help you, but, yeah,
Right.
yes.
Is there a certain amount of time that you'd like to, you would like to recommend you leave between treatments on the stone? For example, if you cleaned one very thoroughly, and you have it and fallen, and you have repairs and breakage and so on. Would
So-
you want to not do it within a year? You would want to wait a couple of years, or would you do it if you were a family member? Would you want to?
So, after I repair stone, I'll do the infill, and after the infill dries and everything's good, I take the clamps off, and then depends on the stone and like how big it is, and how good I think the repair is. I'll sometimes spray it and walk away, and then come back a couple weeks later and spray it again. But it all depends on what's on the stone and where you are, the weather-wise. But yeah, you can spray it down how many times you want. It's just, if you spray it and then come back a day later, you're wasting gold.
Do you
That's
find
less
a
expensive.
problem with sandstone cleaving? And how would you repair the cleavage on the sandstone?
So I'm not really, you'll have to ask Dave that, because I'm personally not smart enough to work on a sandstone. But what I think you would do is take the injection grout in a syringe, and you sort of go between the delamination portions, and you put it in there. But what I'm afraid what will happen is air or water will get in there, and it will just not really work at all. But I'm not really. Yeah, I'll send you guys to Dave if he has a big question about sandstone. Because he's worked on a couple. Me, 0.
Do you have cards and stuff we could take? Because I want to get a hold of you.
So you can take a picture of that. I don't have cards, business cards printed out, but I'll keep this up so you guys can write it down or take a picture of it. But
You can find them on Facebook.
Yep.
You know, also.
so I have YouTube, Facebook, Gmail, and TikTok, and newly Instagram. But you can send me an email at gotengraving@gmail.com. I'll get back to you within 30 minutes to an hour, depends if I'm in school or not, and or sometimes 5 minutes. But yeah, that's where you can contact me for that.
Any other questions for Parker? Well, Parker, I just gotta say, for a junior in high school, he was a sophomore when he started doing this. For a high school kid to be doing this is terrific. He's not alone, though. There are a lot of cemetery preservationists around. About 3 years ago, we had a Wayne Historians meeting in Macedon, and there was a young girl there at the time who, as a high school senior, had a project. She went into the cemetery that you could hardly get to. It wasn't full of Rosa rugosa and poison ivy, but it was off the road, and the stones were broken. And whoever was taking care of the cemetery put the stones in a pile, just heaped them in a pile. She was able to put that puzzle back together again, not completely, but she found many of the same stones and was able to get them back with their respective stone partner. And, you know, she worked on that, and she still works on it. She has a website for it. And then you're getting more and more kids engaged, so it's really nice to see these young rural preservationists doing their thing. Parker, because of your dedication and your hard work in all things historic, not just the gravestones, but a big part of that, I'd like you to have this gift of the Bicentennial Mural Book,
Thank you.
which someday so thank you, Parker, again.